In the previous module, you've learned how to create and configure the SSIS catalog, how to deploy the packages to the package catalog, and how to configure the package and service. In this module, you will learn how to secure the SSIS packages, how to run them, and how to schedule the SSIS packages. First, let's see how to secure the SSIS packages. Once you deploy your packages, you do not want people who don't have authorization to execute these packages. That's the main focus of this lesson. The way you lock down your packages depends on the deployment model. In the package deployment model, the easiest security model is when you deploy to the MSDB database. When you deploy your packages with the project deployment model, security is easy and more robust. Before you dive into the topic of securing the package execution, you must first understand a few things about connecting to the SSIS service. The SSIS service is available to you if you choose to use the package deployment model. The only login option for connecting to the SSIS service is to use your Active Directory account. Once you connect, you see only those packages that you're allowed to see. This protection is accomplished based on the package roles. Package roles are available only on packages that are stored in the MSDB database. Packages stored on the file system must be protected with a password and with Windows security. There are two kinds of package roles, the writer role and the reader role. The writer role can perform administration type functions such as overwriting a package with a new version, delete a package, manage security, and stop the package from running. The reader role can execute and view the package. The reader role can also export the package from Management Studio. Package roles use database roles from the MSDB database. By default, people who are in the DTS admin and DTS operator database roles or are the creator of the package can be a reader. The writer role is held by members of the DTS admin or the creator of the package by default. When you select the drop-down box in the Package Roles dialog box, you can change the package role from the default one to another customized role from the MSDB database. If your packages are stored on the file system, you must set a package password on the package to truly secure it. You can also enforce security by protecting the directory with Windows Active Directory Security on the file or folder where your packages are stored. With the project deployment model, security is very similar to the packages that are stored in the MSDB database with a few tweaks. Packages that are stored in the SSIS catalog use the users and roles that are in the SSIS DB database and are secured at the project or folder level. You can simply set the security by selecting the role or user for which you want to give permissions to the project or folder and then selecting their appropriate rights. Read gives permission to see the existence of the package, modify gives permissions to update the package, and execute gives permissions to run the package. Now that we have learned about securing the packages, let's see how to actually do it. And let's say that you want to have security set for this project. Let's say that you want to lock these packages down so that no one but the HR group can execute them. In order to do that, let's create an HR role and make yourself a member of that role. So let's go to Databases, SSIS DB, Expand Security, Roles, Database Roles, and let's create a new role. And let's call it HR. And in the owner, let's select DBO, click on OK, click on OK. And now let's go to the SSIS catalog that we have created. Right click on the project. Let's go to Properties, select Permissions, click on Browse, select HR, and let's grant execute permissions for that role. Click on OK. And that is how you can secure the SSIS packages using roles. Now that we have learned how to secure the SSIS packages, Let's see how to run them. When your packages are deployed, you're ready to run them. In this lesson, you'll see how to execute a package from a variety of places like Management Studio and from the command line. Before we begin, there is one important thing to know for packages that are deployed in the package deployment model. Even though your package is deployed onto a server, the package uses the resources and runs from whichever machine executes it. For example, let's say you deploy a package to your production server and then you connect through Management Studio and execute the package from your work laptop. In this case, the package will use your laptop's resources but not the resources from the production server. But for the packages in the project deployment model, this will not be the case. They will run on the server using its resources. Now let's see how to execute these packages using Management Studio. Let's say you have a package and you have realized that the original developer of the package left some old server information in the package, and you now need to point the connection manager to a different directory to see the file without modifying the package. Let's see how to do that. Let's go to Management Studio and let's go to the project that's been deployed. Let's select this package, right-click and click on Execute. Let's go to Audit Database. Let's select Customer 1 and in the server name, let's change it to SQLOPS. Click on OK. And in the connection managers, let's change this to AdventureWorks 2014. Change this to SQLOPS. Click on OK. And now let's click on OK to execute this package. Now that we have seen how to execute packages in the project deployment model, let's see how to execute packages in the package deployment model. In order to do that, let's open the execution utility and let's select the package you want to execute. And in the package, let's browse to the folder that has all of your packages. And let's select the package that you want to execute. And now let's select Configurations to select the configuration file that you want to use for this package execution. In this tab, you can select additional configuration files that you want to use for this execution of the package. If you do not select an additional configuration file, any config file that are already on the server will be used. Even though you may have config files already defined in the package, the existing ones will not show in the list here. Now let's examine the Command Files tab. This tab passes additional custom command line switches into the DT-exec application. And next is the Connection Managers. The Connection Managers page shows the power of Connection Managers. This page enables you to change the Connection Manager settings at runtime to a different setting than what the developer has originally intended by simply checking the connection you would like to change. Next is the Execution Options page. In this page, you can configure the package's execution runtime environment, like the number of tasks that will run in parallel, etc. The Reporting page controls what type of detail will be shown in the console. You can decide that you'd rather show only errors and warnings, which would perform slightly better than the verbose message itself. You can also control which columns will show in the console. The logging page is where you can specify additional logging providers. Another powerful page is the Set Values page. This page enables you to override nearly any property you want by typing the property path for the property. The most common use for this is to set the value of a variable. This page is also a way to work around some properties that can't be set through expressions. With those properties, you generally can access them through the property path. In the verifications page, you can ensure that the package will only run if it's the correct build of the package. And finally, the command line page is one of the most important pages in the interface. This page shows you the exact execute command that will be executing. You can now execute the package by clicking the execute button at any time from any page. After you click the execute button, you see the package execution progress window, which will show you any warnings, errors, and informational messages. Let's click on execute. And this is the progress. And that is how you can run the SSIS packages that are in the package deployment model. Let's close this and close this also. Now let's see how to run the packages in T-SQL and how to debug the packages.